Hi, I'm Dennis Hendershot with the Brantford Golf and Country Club's Communication Committee, and in the spirit of keeping in touch, we would like to highlight some of the content in a video format from our monthly newsletter, such as news from the Pro Shop with Dan Port, course news with Paul Eveden, pre- and post-event promotion, interviews with players, and video highlights. As well, we would like to do a rules of golf on-course reenactments with situations that arise here at the Brantford Golf and Country Club, and many other topics. Today's topic, the cart storage and patio extension. With us today is a long-time member as well as a very active member with the committees, board member, current board member, and a member of the ad hoc committee for this process of the extension, Scott Mackey. Hi, good to see you.
Dennis, thank you very much.
Hope you've had a good winter, and obviously we haven't quite ended our winter. I know it's brutal out there. And
it's still cold out there.
I'm actually getting tired of talking about it, to be honest with you. But well, hopefully things will get rolling, and we'll start to see the faces that we all love to see out here, and get back to the game we love. We'd like to start at the beginning, and maybe the vision and how this project came to fruition, and a bit about some of the people that were involved, and all the different facets of things that needed to go into this. So if you maybe could start with the founding group.
Yes, I can to the best of my recollection. We owe really the birth of electric carts out here to the vision of Mark Moffat. He was the president of the Brantford Golf and Country Club at the time that the board decided to go with electric carts. And Mark, as president, picked an ad hoc committee which was made of about, I'm going to say, 3 board members and 5 golfing members. Might be forgetting one, but I think there's 5 golfing members that were involved. And we started to meet in April or May 2012 and had a meeting once a month for, boy, it must have been somewhere around 16 months before we finally came to a conclusion that we've got an idea here that we can take to the membership, and the membership's going to give us a go-ahead. But
to this before it was brought to an open forum, which you said was received pretty well.
Yes, it was. I think we had over 70% of the members that were at that particular meeting voiced their support for it. It might have even been higher, I'm just not sure. I know we were very happy with it, but as you alluded, we had topics from keeping putting the electric carts where the gas carts were and charging them with bird nests, or whatever you want to call them, bird cages. We looked at under the present putting green. We looked at over where the old pro shop used to be. We looked at the curling rink. And there were an awful lot of soul switching that went into the final decision that we made.
And a lot of those different areas, they all had their own ups and downs, or pluses, and
they did.
And I know myself personally, some of the conversations on the putting green related to the addition, and I think one of the biggest questions was why we couldn't use the curling area for storage.
And the curling area was one that we looked at very carefully. One of the negative aspects of the curling area was the fact that the electric carts would have to come out of that back room, or we'd have to make a new door and go around into the parking area. We were worried about the safety of our members and the safety of our guests. We were worried about the heat exchange, air exchange, pardon me, aspect of having electric carts. The charging gives off a gas that is not very conducive to breathing, and you also had a problem with curling itself. We might have to close the ice down 2 weeks early and begin 2 weeks later. And when we looked at those aspects of the curling, we decided that the selection that we had was a better fit.
Oh, I think it certainly is. I mean, even the aesthetics coming up 18 and having the ability to be on the patio and see the 18th green, I think that's something maybe the club has lacked. In recent years anyways. I'm not sure of some of the former locations of where the golf course finished, and dating way back, but at least there's an opportunity to have some atmosphere there right off the 18th green and see some of the players finishing their rounds.
The patio is going to be wonderful when it's done. We've got a group of 6 people I was part of that group, but I wisely said, look, you guys have got more expertise in this patio, picking the furniture, picking the energy sources, the number of fire pits we want, the scenery, whether we want ceiling fans, whether we don't, the color, and we've got 5 ladies, all who have experience and or expertise in the design area and the staging area, and they're doing a wonderful job. And I think the best decision I made was you guys do it and just report back.
I believe you said there was 5 contractors that
4 or 5, Dennis.
4 or 5 that were involved in the initial tenders.
There might have been 5.
And I know that we've had a few here that have done wonderful work, not only on course but also at the new clubhouse, and I believe a couple of those were in the running for this extension as well.
Definitely, I can expand on that a bit. Adhoc did a wonderful job with this and made a very good presentation to us, that ad hoc committee, and we're very serious contenders right up to the last minute. And then we also had some experience with Lanka Construction, who did the project for us at the maintenance building, and did that on time and did that on budget, and as Adhoc did with this. And it was very difficult for us to make a choice as to what particular contractor we would go with. I'm sure we would have been happy with either.
So, I mean, that's a good point too when you say on time and on budget.
Yes.
So here we are, almost the 1st of April, and I know certainly with the weather this winter we've had some delays. So, and I'm sure this is an opportunity for us to let the membership know how the schedule is coming, and maybe even you could elaborate a little bit on the budget if there's any potential overages due to this weather delays and everything else.
I will be glad to do that. We've had approximately a 5 to 6 week delay in when we expected to start the actual digging. I'm going to say the first shovel that went into the ground was March 17th. Shortly thereafter they had to quit because of the permafrost and the weather again. And we've heard from a Lanka representative that once they start, it's approximately 60 working days until the project will be finished. I'm glad to say that right now they're out there digging, and it looks like it's coming along well, but that would project up until the 2nd week of June, when we're actually hoping to have it done by May 24th. So we're looking at around June, maybe the 2nd week in June, to have everything done.
So any pressure on them or discussion of extra work or time allotment? I know you had said something to me about the potential overages there, that if they had to work weekends, and I think you guys have decided not to pursue that.
That is correct. We sat down with the representatives from Lanka and gave them the question, if you guys work on the Saturdays, it'll certainly get it done quicker, but we had made a promise to the membership that here's our budget. Our budget, if I remember correctly, is $630,000, $650,000, something like that. So we decided not to do it because, quite rightly, Lanka would say, well, that's going to be time and a half for our guys. So,
well, I was thinking on the flip side of the membership and the golfing and the distraction of all the activity at the first tee. Excuse me, but as it stands right now, we're looking at, well, until I talk to Paul, I'm not sure of an opening date, but who knows, we might not miss a whole lot or see a whole lot of the construction just because of the weather and the delay in opening the course. But I'm sure everybody's really excited to you know, the experience that patio. It's going to be a great place, and hopefully it'll bring back some wonderful evenings. Like I know I do remember in the past there used to be some great Friday nights and barbecue nights and all sorts of stuff. So hopefully that'll bring that element back to the club and a great social atmosphere.
Yeah, it will for sure. And logically speaking, you're probably right in regards to assuming that the golf course will be very late in opening. And we do have a plan that if the golf course opens before this construction and the patio is done and we don't have a place to put the electric carts, we are not going to ask for delivery of the electric carts. We will use gas carts. We'll rent them from the usual person that we rent them from. might cost us somewhere around $3,000 a month. But still, our members who are used to using cards will have cards available to them as long as Paul says they can.
So that doesn't affect the current budget relative to the cards, so it's not adding to the cards, because either way we would have the cards, so whether it's gas or electric, it's not a...
Exactly.
It's not, yeah,
we will
in
have the
addition
cards
to the budget.
there, but they will have to pay to use the cards like they usually do.
Sure,
Yeah.
certainly. We all understand that. Well, I certainly look forward to the patio myself, and also maybe we'll get a little bit more information from Paul. We do plan to sit down with Paul in the near future and pass on some of his thoughts as to course conditions and ongoing. So we really appreciate your time today, and we know as well we're going to be able to follow the progress not only by sight, just coming out to the club, and
yes,
we'll be able to see what's going on, but also I think you've got a little access to the Twitter account. You're going to try some tweeting, are you?
That's correct, and we're going to put it in the monthly newsletter as we have been doing. And to put your minds at ease, we do have a go-to guy out here every day if something happens with Lanka. We have Paul Evington and we have Matt Kerr, who are involved on a day-to-day basis.
Well, I'm sure if anybody really wants to ask any questions now, they know they can come to you. You're a wealth of knowledge on this project, and
yes,
and again, I'm sure the membership really appreciates all the time that any of the members that volunteer their time and do the work that you do. So we do appreciate that, and thanks for your time, Scott.
Very kind words, Dennis. I see you're smiling with some of those words. I'm glad to get here and give the people an update on it, and I'd be pleased to do it again. It's fine.
Okay.
Thanks.
Cheers.